Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Bob Power, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you've joined us for our next live presentation from Deep Yellow Limited. Please note you can submit questions in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome John Borshoff, Managing Director and CEO of Deep Yellow, which trades on the OTCQX Best Market under the symbol DYLLF and on the ASX under the symbol DYL. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Bob, and it was great to be back on the platform after several months, and thank you for inviting me to this conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're all very aware that the uranium market is out there on its own in terms of performance, outdoing all other commodities. We also all heard this week of 20 or odd countries currently in Dubai, many of them majors, along with nuclear and energy agencies, committing to the initiative of tripling the nuclear fleet in order to achieve the zero emission targets by 2050. This is all very heady stuff, and such a confluence of need for more nuclear and need for much, much more uranium has never before come together in such dramatic and meaningful way. And obviously this has got huge benefits, positive benefits for the uranium sector. I'll just go through a little disclaimer before I go on in more detail, and I just need to alert you that should you wish to make any investments in Deep Yellow, I'll be making forward-looking statements and advise you to seek your own independent advice before taking any decisions. Oh, God. I apologise about that. I hope you can still hear me. The Deep Yellow, as you'll hear, has had another significant year. Notable has been delivering and continuing to deliver on its Tumas project, advancing our Mulga Rock project in a substantial manner, and further strengthening our team and board, while also looking to extract further value with opportunities that exist in the sector. I just want to talk very quickly about the nuclear story and clean energy. And you're all aware of nuclear. I just want to go through a few points here. The big aspect is that nuclear fits all of the buttons that are necessary for this new energy transition: lowest carbon footprint, lowest material requirement, lowest land usage, lowest cost per unit, and better believe that. And it's got a great safety record and meets ESG requirements. renewables is showing its limitations, and that's why so many countries are now adopting a top-down nuclear approach to assist the renewables. You'll see here, the only thing I want to talk to you about, you know that there's a huge growth in nuclear, but look at that bar below in the significant other growth factors. China is aiming at 400 gigawatts by 2060, which will only be 18% nuclear, but that's about the size of the fleet that it is today in the world. US, similarly, it's got big growth targets, ×3, and all the fleets of the world are increasing in their sort of uprates and life extensions. This is all auguring extremely well for the sector. The demand is increasing. Every country, you're hearing every month on month, more countries are saying we need more nuclear. We can't achieve our targets. And never has there been such a top-down resurgence in nuclear, where governments are now demanding that people get off their bums and start putting in real serious energy systems to meet what is an impossible objective for renewables alone. And so the amount of countries that are coming in has never been repeated, let's say, since the 70s. The supply, though, is also under pressure. We've had a supply industry that has basically been asleep since Fukushima. It hasn't been exercising, building new mines. It's just been a few companies like Cameco and Kazatomprom have been in production mode, but this is not in building mode. This is a completely different culture you need. So the incentive prices have been too low. Even now at these prices, there is no greenfields project that is starting to say, look, we're going to go ahead. So more incentivization is noted. The industry is being decimated. Rio have exited, so there's an imbalance in the type of companies available. You've got geopolitical issues, and there's a great opportunity to really re-establish a company in this environment. And here it is all. It's all tied in this in the fuel cycle here between yellow cake conversion and enrichment, and really the staple food of this whole business now is going to be yellow cake. In previous years, that's been supplemented a lot by inventories. That's gone, and it's going to be primary uranium that's going to be the feedstock for the whole supply chain for the reactors. And as I say, each of these in the fuel cycle are under huge pressure, and there's going to be challenges, but it's all possible. Now, just looking at Deep Yellow itself, we are positioned, and I did this the same with Paladin, where I positioned the company before the China syndrome happened, and we took off at that time and became the phenomenon because of what the positioning was. And it's deja vu. I've positioned the Deep Yellow in that same space, and as I say, it's put Deep Yellow in a very strong place. And the big difference today is this positioning is that it really differentiates us. We're better at it. We've got diversity. We've got big production, highly experienced team, huge exploration upside. We're delivering on vision. In the last 5-6 years, we've successfully established a platform. In the next 5 years, we'll execute on that and get a production base going. This is our sort of global footprint, as you see, and I'm very proud of this. We've got a flagship project in Tumas in Namibia, which is at advanced stage, and we're looking at getting into a decision to mine mid next year. We've got Mulga Rock in Western Australia, another advanced project which will follow, and the Alligator River, which is our equivalent in Australia of the Athabasca, where it's real elephant country, where we're looking for large resources. So we're set up well. We've got about 400 million pounds on our resource base, and we're uniquely positioned. Just our basic sort of parameters. We have no debt. We've got our market cap is about 830 million. We've dropped off a bit. Uranium prices going up. The FY23 was a defining year for the company in terms of that positioning, and we're really in a good space. We've got about $32 million. We've got a diversified project pipeline. Tumas is our flagship project in Namibia. It's about 60 kilometres from the coast. It's 30 kilometres from Langer Heinrich, which is the project I developed in Paladin when Paladin started. The Langer Heinrich, the Tumas deposit it stretches for about 40 kilometres. There's another 25, 30 kilometres of resources to find. It is we've got 22 years of life. We're going for 30 to 35. We've got a big inferred resource, and the plant is situated there in that black box. You can see the proposed plant, and the Tumas deposit will occupy the first 15 years of life on that project. We've got grid power, there's electricity, and the Tumas project is a turbocharged Langer Heinrich. We've used Langer Heinrich as our pilot plant, and we've made this an even more efficient plant that is going to take out a whole lot of value from, even though it's lower grade, we'll get greater value out of our product. So Tumas, as I say, it operates on a head grade about 340, 3.6 million pounds. We've got the basically now we said minimum of 65. We're looking at about $75 now. We wouldn't do anything less. It's got really good numbers. US $600 million, 26% rate of return. We're just doing a recost of the DFS, which came out in February, and that is because of the volatility of supply, of inflation. We did our DFS at peak inflation, and we just want to reset everything, give confidence to our project financiers and engineers, and we should be announcing that in the early part. Well, in the next week or so in December. Our schedule is easy. We're going to go into a project financing phase in a detailed engineering, and we're hoping to get a FID mid-24 or third quarter calendar year 24, construction and in production in 26. Mulga Rock, which is a beauty. We inherited this project from Vimy that we merged with. We've turned this into a completely different project now, larger than what we inherited. From a 15-year mine life, it's looking like it's going to be 20-year plus. It's going to have more value. It's going to have also non-uranium minerals, battery minerals, and rare earths. It's got a granted mining license. Significantly, in Western Australia, we're the only uranium project that has got environmental approval, and so long as we follow the guidelines, we can go through to production. And it's in an ideal sort of framework. This is the project. You can see we've just done some test work. Preparatory to doing a revised feasibility study, and we're really getting great results out of the leaching of the rare earth and the base metal, much more than what was indicated previously, and we believe this will add huge value. We're nearly ready to do a resource upgrade with all metals in the indicated reserve status, and that'll be at the end of early February. And the only reason we've been delayed is only because the laboratories are so tied up with all other businesses that there's a tight space availability. Revised DFS will start mid-20, is due for completion mid-20 calendar year 25, and it's a huge opportunity to make a large, long life project like at Tumas, and they'll be our two pivots for moving forward. So I mentioned the exceptional exploration upside. The alligator is the sort of emblem of this. It's in the it's, as I say, in the alligator rivers where Jabiluka, Ranger, and all these huge deposits are, and we've got a big lump of land out there, about 1,500 square kilometres, underexplored. There's a small high-grade deposit there, about 33 million pounds, about 1%. We're looking something 100 to 200 million pounds, and looking at a 3 to 5 year program, and we believe we will discover targets of that size, because that's what that country is made for. Moving along a bit more, looking ahead, I'm rushing here this is our development schedule based on the Tumas project and Mulga Rock. You'll see there the Tumas project is mooted to start in 2026 and Mulga Rock in 2028. Beautifully sort of sequenced in, and as I say, there's no other ASX listed company that has two advanced projects, geographically diversified and really prepared both to accommodate the security of supply, the geographic sort of issues of risk to supply, and operating in two countries. We've got within these at least a 7.5 million pound per annum production capability. The key work streams we've got coming through on Tumas. As I say, we'll be announcing the recosted DFS, and that'll be a very important part of progressing forward. We're expecting our mining license to be granted this month, and that we see no issue with, and then next year the project financing and the detailed engineering will be starting, and the tendering for the construction. Mulga Rock, we've got the new resources are coming out next in late January, early February, and then we'll be also commencing the revised DFS, which will incorporate the new finding, the new resources, and see what this project will finally really look like. And the alligator is on a plan that we've got a 5-year plan there, looking for these sort of 100 million plus deposits that we believe we'll find. And then finally, just to say, I mentioned we're best positioned. We've got the right platform, the right time. The market backdrop is extraordinary, exceptional opportunities, and there are other, in this post Fukushima period, there needs to be reconstruction of the sector unlike anything ever experienced before. There's growth initiatives are led by our growth initiative by experienced board, proven leadership team, and that package is really quite unique. And we're on a pathway to becoming a reliable long-term producer, which is what we're in the space all about, and to reward our shareholders. And with that is my end of my talk. Thank you very much. Any questions? So I've got a question here that can you speak to your 2024 milestones and how you will finance the 2026 production at Tumas. So already we've been inquiring since we made our DFS in February. We're looking at bank financing and export agencies. We've had experience with that. We've had banks that worked with us before, and we believe we will make a debt package from that, and the balance then will be taken with equity. Look, it's what percentage of debt? Whether it's 60%, 70 and 30, 40 equity. In the end, we'll decide, how the market is, where the best value is for the company and the shareholders in terms of the ratio of debt to equity, and I think we'll be okay there. And I think that's all the questions I have, so David Miller, yeah. So how does our sort of all-sustaining costs for Tumas compared to comparable projects? Very well. We will have sitting in the sort of high 30s, sustaining maybe low 40s, but looking now at projects that are going to be, probably have contracts plus $80 a pound. I think that those factors, and that we've got very conservatively based pricing. We think we've got a very fairly valuated project that we can deliver on. Are you in discussions with utilities now? No. They know we are. We still believe the utilities don't quite appreciate the circumstances. We know certain utilities worldwide are increasing their floor and ceilings to try and attract. But I think there has to be a lot more realization. And when you think that DYLLF is possibly, apart from NextGen, which is going to be later than us, the only ones that have got genuine greenfield projects, and that the future of nuclear is going to rely on greenfield projects, and how absolutely vital it is, and that these utilities have to now be prepared to invest in getting and recovering and rejuvenating this sector. And that's why I think pricing has still yet to come up. Nobody's rushing at the gate to develop any projects apart from those mothball projects that have already restarted. And that's all the questions I have. So with that, I thank you very, very much. And if anyone have got any questions aside, please ask them either through the email, and I'll make sure I get back to yourself, or just get in touch with me in Perth, where you've got my contact numbers. Thank you very much, and good